Hey everybody, I'm getting ready to go on here in less than a minute, so hang on just a bit. Hello everybody, and hang on man, I gotta get my headphones on. Caught myself unprepared.
Uh-oh.
All right, I'm good. All right. Hey everybody, I'm glad to see you. This is
Radio check.
this is going to be a fairly
Suspend.
quick update,
Please suspend all radio checks. We
and
are
we are
live
in the
right now.
process of doing some stuff here, getting everything ready. The place has been a hub of activity this morning and today, and we are now trying to get some final updates before we go into the actual storm mode. So this is going to be a fairly quick update just to give you an idea of what's happening. And Mark and I have been on this, all day long, looking at this stuff, trying to determine everything. I will tell you that the tornado threat has worsened, according to the National Weather Service, as we go into the evening hours, especially areas to our west. But you know what? There is no place really safe, is there, Mark? The whole place is under a threat of tornadoes.
It really is. This is just the beginning. That tornado watch is just the beginning for the line that's going to be going through. That particular part of the line is going to move up to the north through Illinois for the most part. But the trailing cells will continue to develop down to the southwest through Missouri Boot Heel and over into West Kentucky as the afternoon and evening goes on.
Yeah, this whole yellow area is the tornado watch. Is that right, Mark? Until what time? Heck, I could look at it here. Hold on a minute.
Yeah. I just noticed it was there. I hadn't looked at all the specifics
Yes,
of it.
it hasn't been issued long. Hang on a second. Uh, the watch is, if I can get the thing to come up like it's supposed to, here we go. It's for portions of northern Arkansas, western Illinois, central and eastern Missouri, effective this afternoon, evening from 4 p.m. until 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And so several tornadoes and a couple of intense tornadoes are likely, with widespread damaging winds and isolated significant gusts to 90 miles per hour likely. Now that's outside of tornadoes. Scattered large hail, isolated very large hail events to 2.5 inches in diameter are likely. So I got to tell you, this is not a good situation to be in, and it's going to get worse. In fact, as I was hoping that maybe we were seeing some possibilities that maybe the area of the Pennyroyal region might escape some of it. But you know what, Mark? I'm beginning to think that maybe that's just a pipe dream, the way it's
It could be.
the
It
way
could
it's
be.
looking. But what I'm talking about is we actually noticed a little bit of dry air trying to get into the area. Not a lot, but some that might help to lessen the tornado threat. It doesn't mean it's going to lessen the severe threat, but the tornado threat at least. And so we'll see if that actually works out. I hope it does. I don't. No, you don't have. You're not in your right mind if you hope for severe weather. I mean, there's those out there that do, but I'm not one of them. And so, you know, we want everybody to be safe. We don't want anyone to lose their property or especially their life. Uh, Linda
Dave,
McGarrett.
while you're talking with everybody, I'm going to mute my mic for a bit. People have
Okay.
been calling in for radio checks.
Okay. Linda McGarrett says, David, your hair looks like you've been in a storm mode all day. Well, gosh, I appreciate that, Linda. That's my, I don't know what kind of hair look you'd call it, but yeah, it's been windy. We have had a lot of stuff going on, lots of people in today. We've got some sports staff that's arriving now, been in. Folks have been bringing food. I'm really appreciative to Allegra Pace if she's on here. Girl, I love you. You've done a really, really awesome thing for the spotter group, and we certainly appreciate it. Anyway, let's see here. Who have I got on? I got Randy Hunter says, yo, Dave. Chris Meacham's on, says, good afternoon, Thunder Buddies. Chris, you should be on your way here in a few minutes. Randy Harbor says, afternoon. Connie Chancellor, hello, David Mark. And Randy said hello to Connie. I'm about to get my glasses on because I've been looking at this stuff too much. Now my eyes are getting a little bit on the fatigue side, but that's all right. I'll be okay. Mr. McCall, hello. And Lori Wilbert says, good afternoon. Darlene Manning says, hello, David Mark. Debbie Soxy, hello, everyone. Prayers for everyone as we go through these strong storms. Everyone stay safe, and they are going to be strong. I'm going to have to say it. This is not a good situation. You can already see that there is a flood watch in effect for some areas. I think these are down in Tennessee, the most of them, and you see them going across the screen here at the bottom. So that gives you an idea that there is some flooding will take place. I will fill you in about when that will be. Let's see here. Tracy says, hey, David Mark, praying everyone stay safe during the storms. And then we have, let's see here. Our good friend Dave's here says, hey, everyone be safe. And Linda McElroy says, hey there, David Mark, and all you Thunder Buddies. Judy Bennett, hi, David Mark. Happy to see you for our safety. Denise Perry, hi, Denise. She says hi to David Mark. She says hello to me. Wait a minute. I think she'll say hello to you, too, here in a minute. I'm sure she does. Let's see here. Denise Perry says, I got to tell you, I'm really scared. Mark, I understand there she says, howdy, Mark. Justin McCowan says, good afternoon, y'all. Hi, Justin. And let's see here. Nancy Ladd, hey, David. Thank you, guys. Robin 0213 says, hope you had a nice nap and are ready for tonight. Well, I haven't, but some of them have, and we'll be ready. Let's see here. Brianna Crafton says, what do you expect in Logan County? Mark, I think everybody's looking at the same thing pretty much, right?
Pretty much. The only difference Logan County is going to make is for tomorrow, they're under a flood watch.
Yeah. And if we get through this tonight, and after that event tomorrow morning, it'll be over with, I think, by shortly afternoon, wouldn't it?
For the most part, we may see some stray showers and maybe even a couple of thunderstorms through tomorrow evening, but they're not expected to be severe by that time.
Okay. Linda, I understand what you're saying. She said that my hair was messed up. Looks like I've been in storm mode all day, and she says she's just trying to inject a little humor into the serious situation. I understand. I think the best thing I saw so far was, there was Allegra Pace down there, our hero. She said, it's my pleasure, David. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to hug and tell you. I'll see you when I see you. It was a pleasure meeting Mark, too, and take care tonight, and special prayers for you all. Allegra, you don't know.
Thank you very much, Allegra.
She doesn't know how much that meant to us, not only to us, but to the whole group. The food you've supplied, just the caring nature of what you've done. There are no words. But the only thing I can say is thanks a bunch, girl. And Chelsea Reese says, hey, friends. Earl Stewart says, I'm here standing by for the pre-storms and storms. Happy to see shelters are predicted to open in many spots at 11 p.m. And that's true. Amy is busy compiling a list of shelters that are going to be available. We will share those with you when we go on the storm mode here in a little while. It'll be later on before we actually do that. I'm not sure the time just yet, but we are going to be going on live before the storms get into here, and we will give you up-to-date coverage constantly. Let's see here. There's Debbie Wyatt Reddick. What time will the storms hit? Around 10 p.m. That is what time we think that they will start in the area. You'll also notice that the spotters are coming in. The intercept teams are gathering in weather ops and the facility. We will be sure and we're going to have to brief them here in a little bit and give them an update on what's going on and where we can expect them to have to go. Anne-Marie Jackson says, hey, guys, and I tell you what, this thing's moving so fast. Do you think there will be a tornado in Owensboro, Kentucky, according to Verka? There's no way we can tell you where there's one place more likely than another right now. This is a widespread event. It's not just a localized storm. It's called a regional outbreak, which means there's severe weather going to be all over the place. There's numerous storms. If you look at this radar shot back here to the west, all these orange boxes are severe storm warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, and all these boxes, you can see the whole line is severe. And I think that will continue into the evening hours, and we'll just see. Let's see here.
David, right now there's regions in central Missouri well out ahead of these storms where they're getting straight line wind gusts up in the 60s.
Wow.
And that's just straight line.
Hold on, I'll get him back. I saw him leave by accident. I don't know what we've got a little problem with that particular collab cam. Okay, I got you back, Mark.
Okay.
Just full of all kinds of things, though, all kinds of little noises, aren't you?
Yeah. I said that in central Missouri, well out ahead of these storms, we're seeing reports of wind gusts up in the 60s.
I'm looking,
and that's just straight line winds. That's well ahead of the storms themselves.
Yeah, I'm looking at a storm chaser here. This is Aaron J. Jack out there in central Missouri, and you see the winds are whipping around pretty good. I don't know what his exact location. Oh, Columbia, Missouri is where he's located. So, anyway, yeah, this is a bad situation, and you see these storms are starting to develop further south, and we think that trend will continue, and they will actually sweep over us at some point during the evening. The question is exactly where and when. We don't know yet. We're still working.
Right.
So Nicole Davis says, can y'all post the Cash App to help with gas and stuff for the spotters? Let's see here. I'm not sure how to do that yet. We're trying something different. We're trying not to use the Cash App. We're going to try something else. I will let you know on that, Nicole. It may be once we start the storm mode that if anybody wants to do something like that, I will try to give you an idea of how to do it. Crystal Eden, she says, about what time will they hit southern Muhlenberg? I think it's going to be around 10 o'clock in this region where we're in.
Yeah. And then from 10 o'clock on, it'll just be, there'll be a storm here, a storm there, a storm here, a storm there, and then the final line will be coming through on towards 3 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah, 1993 BKM says, when will this be starting for Muhlenberg County? That's about the same question there. Hi, Harley. She says, Harley, Harley says, what time are the storms coming in tonight?
I think we just said that.
Well, kind of, yeah. In the Hopkinsville area, I think they'll be around 10 o'clock. I'm not saying that that's the only time that's going to happen. It could actually have some sales come out ahead of it. And
this is probably not going to be a one and done.
No. In fact, this situation may be ongoing through most of the night, where we'll have one severe storm, then another one, and then another one. Then you might have some thunderstorms, and you get some more severe stuff. That's what this kind of night's going to be like. And it's going to be one of those noisy, and you'll probably not get a lot of sleep. It's not going to be any fun. So we're hoping for the best. We are concerned about the tornado threat. We're also concerned about the speeds of the straight line winds. You know what? Hurricane force winds of 74 to 90 miles an hour it's going to damage. Yeah. It's going to damage a lot of folks. So
that's going to be associated with the severe thunderstorms, but that's going to be a much wider area than say a tornado.
Yeah, so a tornado is going to be confined to a small
Kelsey,
area.
We see you.
Oh, yeah. Kelsey Bird says, what about Madisonville? What about Madisonville? What about I'm sorry, Kelsey. We're just aggravating you. But, Madisonville is about the same thing, Kelsey. I don't see much difference there either. Janice Scholler says, so if a tornado will it be coming from the west? Good question, Mark. What direction?
Probably the southwest.
Yep.
Probably the southwest. The whole line is moving west to east, but the individual cells are moving from southwest to northeast at probably around 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, I agree. And Jacob Gibson probably has it about right. Says just be prepared for something to pop up from now till this time Saturday to play it safe. He's probably right.
Probably so.
Yeah, probably so. Crystal Eden says, thanks, David and Mark. Crystal, as one of the proud owners of the Mid-South Storm Shelter, she likes it and she's happy with where she's at. Anita Stamatis, I think is right. Thank you for being there for us. You're welcome, Anita. Kelsey Burt, what about Madisonville? What about Madisonville?
She's still doing it. I think she's having a problem there with her
she's in a
connection or something.
Somewhere or another, Mermaid Cakes, hi Jessica. She says, hey there, Thunder Buddies. I don't like meeting here on such serious and uncertain terms, LOL, but we are here. But here we are.
Here we are. Yes, indeed.
I liked her post. Do you see that post she had earlier? She said, prayers are great and a little pixie dust helps. I thought that was pretty
absolutely.
Anyways, Janice Scheller says, I notice the wind is from the south. That's because we're going to start getting a deeper dew point. Already the higher dew points are approaching, and we are currently at about 57 degrees dew point wise. 58 is where you can get severe, so we're real close now to being able to have the severe criteria where severe storms are possible. Nancy Ladd, thank you guys. Praying Jesus takes the wheel. Lois Wells, we just came by the gas station and truck stop in Hallsville, and the wind gusts were taking all the gravel up into the air. I bet it was really, really rough. Let's see here. Donna Blanship, it feels like it's getting a little cooler outside. It was a lot warmer about an hour ago. The wind is really picking up in the Gracie area. That's probably because of the wind. It feels that way. It's actually not any cooler, but the
temperatures are holding steady up around between 78 and 80. The dew points are falling out to our west. They're down into the 40s in some places. But again, this is the dry air we were talking about. That's probably going to disappear as this moves our direction later.
Yeah. Kelsey Burt says, sorry, I'm just worried about it, but thank you. I understand, Kelsey. We knew that you weren't doing it intentionally. And Mermaid Cake says, you guys can download a chat bot to mod your chat to keep people from spamming the chat like this with repeated phrases. I need somebody like you to do that for us, Jessica. So, and that's what it was suggested at one point, that we have some of our actual chat members being able to do that. Robin Walker says, hey fellas, how are y'all doing? And thank you for all y'all do to keep us safe. How does the situation look for Stewart County around Big Rock, Tennessee? Mark, that's a good question.
Yeah, they are in this as well. I know exactly where Big Rock is in Stewart County. Anywhere along northern Tennessee through there. Hang on a second. Let me pull up. Come on.
John Hargo says the YouTube is a good 20 seconds ahead of the Facebook feed. Yeah, it's because it's actually going through it has to go through a different thing to get to Facebook. We're simulcasting is what we're doing, John, and that's why it's like that. We're broadcasting live on YouTube, and it's simulcast onto Facebook, and that's so that everybody can see it, whatever medium you're on. However, I would encourage anybody to please come over and subscribe to the channel we're on here at the Weather and Wisdom YouTube channel. All you have to do is just hit subscribe, or if you've never subscribed before to anything on YouTube, they may ask you for an email address. It's okay to give it to them. It's not going to cost you anything, but they do that to make sure you're a real person. Again, not a spammer or something that's going to cause us problems. So, they've updated the day one SPC outlook. Okay.
The area for moderate goes from all the way up into Iowa and Illinois, down right alongside us, all the way down to Louisiana and Mississippi. So huge area for a chance for severe weather there.
We'll tornado, try to call that up.
The 15% and hatch for the tornado goes from Mount St. Louis, again, down into Louisiana and Mississippi.
Let's see if I can get this to come up.
Excuse me.
Okay, Storms Prediction Center. Let me refresh that and see if I can get a newer one. Yeah, it goes all the way to Iowa, Mark. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It is a huge area. Tornado
threat. The major wind area is up in Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois.
Okay.
It's 45%, but the tornado area is what I was looking at the extension of. It goes all the way down into Louisiana and Mississippi.
Yeah, I was looking here. Here's the latest update from the Storms Prediction Center. This is the wide area of moderate, severe, and you can see the enhanced, which Christian County's in, and it looks like the moderate comes. Well, let's see here. Let me come up to the counties. I can check that. And so, Trigg County is now completely in the moderate. It comes right up to the Christian County western border. Might as well say Christian County's in moderate too, because it's right there at the border. And then the worst part is when you I'm going to take the counties off here and look at the tornado threat. That looks terrible. Absolutely
It
terrible.
does. That's a huge area for a tornado threat too.
Yeah, and tell them what we're looking at here, Mark. This is a
Okay, and
very
that's
serious threat, right?
it's a very serious threat. Normally for tornado likelihoods, there, it's not like precip where they say, oh, 50% is, 50-50 chance. The higher these go, if you get above 10%, you're getting really high for tornado likelihood. And that red area is 15%. And the hatched area means that there's a good chance for an EF2 or greater strength tornado anywhere within 25 miles of a point.
And there you have it. We're in that from about, let's go back to the counties.
Yeah.
And
Ruby Pinnell, I hate to tell you, but the blood moon was last night.
yeah. It looks like from about the Logan County western border westward is in the high risk for the tornado threat.
Right.
And so pretty much everybody in our coverage area except the far eastern areas. Now, if you go to the wind threat, wow, that's pretty bad.
We are in the wind threat, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
And that's for the straight line winds off thunderstorms that could reach up to 90 miles an hour, which of course would do some damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Gibson says, don't you just love when the SPC looks like a rainbow? John, if you're going to have to come down here and join us, we need your – I like his attitude. Yeah, you're right. It is. So there's several watching over on the Facebook page, the Weather and Wisdom Facebook page. We're glad to have you with us. We will try to keep everybody up to date. And if you're trying to reach me on my Facebook page, there's no way I can stop and answer individual questions. It's just so many things coming into me.
Yeah.
So what?
And if anybody's interested, the western counties west of the lakes are also in the more intense area for the possibility of large hail, 2 inches or greater.
Yeah. And, again, this is one of those things that is absolutely dangerous weather. This is dangerous for all of us. You've got to be aware of this and know that what's coming. I'm going to switch over to the COD, and we'll look at the models for the tornado threat. Mark, explain to them what you're seeing right here.
Okay, this is called the significant tornado parameter. It combines several different things that combine to increase the tornado threat and depicts them as one easier to understand graphic. And basically, you get up in those higher or those colors like the purples and blues and then the pale blues and stuff. You're looking at a pretty high threat for a significant EF2 or greater tornado.
And then
it does weaken out as it goes on, but it's still very significant when it comes across this area.
And this is 6Z Saturday, which is, you have to help me with the Z stuff. I haven't got my
1
chart.
a.m.
Okay, 1 a.m. And then this is at, let's see, 9, that'd be, I don't know.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. The tornado threat's still here at 4 a.m. in the morning. So this is not something that's going to go away overnight. I got to tell you. Let's see here. Michael Willett says, David, I've been watching News Channel 5 also, and Henry, the guy on there, says there's a chance that the winds in the atmosphere is so fast it could actually like choke them out or shred them up. Does that make sense?
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
If these are supercells and their updraft is that strong that we're talking about that many tornadoes, those strong winds in the upper level will be more likely to enhance them rather than weaken them.
Yeah, I don't know where you got here.
Now, I've heard people say, oh, yeah, the updrafts can't get going because the winds shred them or blow them over sideways. But the stronger the winds aloft, the more of an exhaust mechanism you have for the upward vertical motion, which allows the updrafts to get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he might be talking about the intake of the air build up a storm if you got surface winds that strong. I don't know. I wouldn't count on it.
David, I've seen inflow winds be into tornadoes be 70 or 80 miles an hour, so that's going to have to go some.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Michael says I'm probably saying it wrong. I don't know, Michael. Unless I actually saw it, I wouldn't want to argue one way or the other. Jamie Tucker, would underground or Crofton shelter be better? Yes, to both. They would be.
Whatever's closest.
And I've had a lot of questions about the storm shelter. I'm going to tell you right now, I talked to those guys yesterday. They are extremely busy. They're selling storm shelters hand over fist. and people that have them love them. And I think Crystal Eden, I don't know if she's still on here or not, but Crystal Eden has one. There's several others that are viewers that do have them. And so let me go back over here to the radar. So what I got to say is that, hey, they're definitely worth the investment. And they told me that, hey, anybody that wants to get a storm shelter, if when you call them, you mention the words weather and wisdom, they're going to give you $200 off on the installation, on the purchase of a storm shelter. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to let you watch this real quick. What would you do when severe storms with tornadoes threaten you and your family? If you have planned properly, you will have a storm shelter nearby that is strong, safe, and will save your family's life. Mid-South storm shelters provide just that. They blend well with the landscape and are proven lifesavers. When the weather gets severe, have no fear with a Mid-South storm shelter. Call today at 270-725-6020. And like I said, Pete did say that he said if you call them and you're interested in a storm shelter, just mention weather and wisdom, and they'll give you $200 off the purchase of your storm shelter. Denise Anderson Dossett says they love their storm shelter. Do you have a Mid-South storm shelter as well? And let's see here. Angie Stanford, we have contacted them about a storm shelter, but unfortunately can't put it in until next week. Yeah, like I said, they're busy and they're getting there. Angie, did you mention the weather and wisdom? Because they will give you money off. So if you call them back, says, I'm going to mention weather and wisdom because that's where I saw this at, they'll give you $200 off the purchase of that shelter. BDC says, hey y'all, I'm in Branson for a vacay. I think I picked the wrong time to come. Can you check and see if we have anything coming our way? Oh my goodness, he does, don't he, Mark? Branson, Missouri. You're muted.
Yeah. He's right in the middle of all this stuff, actually.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Being in Branson.
Yeah, I was looking to try to pinpoint it. I've forgotten where it is exactly. Well, I've seen it a bunch of times, but for today, I just cannot seem to get my mind wrapped around where it is. I thought it was back around in Ozark somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah. Poplar Bluff. They've had a wind gust of 40 southwest of Poplar Bluff already. And that's well outside the thunderstorms. That's just the straight line winds that are going.
There it is. Up around Forsyth. And it's right at the leading edge of this line of severe storms coming in on them. So, if you're watching this still, you might want to prepare to take cover. And that's going to be pretty crazy. Okay, Angie Stanford says, yes, they did, and they only knew them because of us. Well, thank you, Angie. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Who else we got on here?
Yeah. Dave, you still got the ad up.
Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, wait a minute. I have got to go in here and talk about Michael Vance Contracting Roofing. The man right there knows roofs. If you have any problems with your roofs, be sure and contact Michael Vance Contracting Roofing, 270-707-ROOF. He's got teams standing by just because of this severe event. They're ready and willing to go after it. You just call them, and they will be on their way to you to help you with your roofing. And give them a call. They'll talk to you about it, tell you what you need, and they'll help you. Yeah. Also, he owns Lakeside Campground Marina. Visit lakesidecampground.com. And also, my good friend Katie Moyer, she is probably watching. I think I'm going to show the fish one today. If you want to give yourself an edge in catching fish, you have to try Kentucky Hemp Works Fish Attractant. It is so easy to use, even a child can do it. A drop or two on your bait will yield amazing results.
I got him.
Make your fishing trip memorable. Catch lots of fish with Kentucky Hemp Works Fishing Attractant. Look for it in our online store at dpww.shop. Supplies are going fast, so place your order today. And I tell you what, her little girl was so tickled over that fish. It did my heart good to watch that. let's see here. There's our online store address, dpww.shop, and also shopweatherandwisdom.com. That will find some clothing there, and hopefully that will give you everything you need to know about product. Now, let's go back here. We were talking about, I've done lost my place here on the chat. Okay, Jeffrey Wells says we have one in our garage floor. That's a good place to have one too. The reason that it's so important is storm shelter, and I'm not trying to just, because that's a part of this severe stuff. I'm going to get me one as soon as I get to where I can, but there's nothing like when you got these storm shelters that are opening up throughout the area, and hopefully there will be several opening up, especially some of the churches. They have basements and everything. You can go get in. But if you got a storm coming down on us, middle of the night, do you really want to get dressed and then try to make the trip out to the shelter? Whereas if you have one right there in your backyard or right close to your house, all you got to do is go get in it and you're good. You're already there, and it's not near as impactful, and you can feel safe anytime when there's bad stuff, bad weather threatening. John Gibson says, well, let's see. Kyle Epley says, expecting a lot of lightning with these storms. Probably so, especially with any tornadic storms. The lightning is almost continuous in those.
There's usually a lot of lightning with them.
Yep. John Gibson, 2005-ish. I was in Branson when a tornado went through Hopkinsville. I remember there was a well-known picture of the tornado from on top of the hospital. And we actually have that picture on display in our break room. So, that was like in a 100 million
that was
shot.
April 2006, actually.
Yep, sure was. And that particular storm and tornado is what led to the formation of the
Christian County Weather Spotters.
Sure was, absolutely. G. Smith 495. What are your thoughts about a possible capping inversion? Saw a post today from Hopkinsville discussing it. I don't know who you saw from Hopkinsville. It wasn't none of our group. I've been talking to the Weather Service today. They have said nothing about a cap. There is a such thing as a cap that does occur, but that's not going to be affected by these. These storms are too strong, and they'll break the cap in almost the minute they hit them. So that's not going to be much of an issue. John Morgan, the storm doesn't even look that bad. Well,
it's just getting started.
Yeah,
it is just getting started.
These storms right here, just an example. Here's some of the reports. This one says down power lines in rural Pleasant Hill location. And let's see what else we got. Damage reports. There's some more damage reports here. It says semi blown over along whatever the road is. It says via special media relayed by law enforcement. So, there is damage reports coming in. Here's some more. Let me see what these are. A magnitude report. I'm not sure what that means. Okay, 60-mile-an-hour winds. So, they're bad. They're bad enough. So, don't be fooled. Unless you know radar, you got to understand what you're actually seeing. And we do have this in a multiple radar mode. I can go to more of a localized mode and give you more detail.
Hey, Dave, on up in the chat, Donna Zakushia said, I have no good place to go. Do you think it is better to stay in bed and put a foam mattress topper on top of us, or sit in the hallway? Can't get up and down off the floor. I'm scared.
Okay, so if you have a hall closet, it's best to get in there. Any room that has no outside walls to it. A hallway is a good place because it doesn't have outside walls. And if you stop and
if you're in a mobile home, it's better to abandon it and go somewhere where you can actually take shelter.
Yeah.
See if there's any shelters open in your area.
Let's see here. Carol Bryant says, windy, and I'll agree. Vestil says, I remember that picture. I was in elementary school and our power went out. It was terrifying. Yeah, I was in the middle of that one too. It was not any fun at all. Nikki Winter says, hey, David, Mark, just now joining. What did I miss, and thoughts from McCracken County tonight? Mark?
Well, McCracken County, as we've said, for the whole area just about, we are under a pretty good chance of severe thunderstorms. Tornadoes are definitely possible as they come through. Hopefully, they're not going to be quite as strong as they're going to be off to our west, but that's no guarantee. We are under a moderate risk, or might as well be. The moderate risk comes right up to Trigg County. So we're under a moderate risk for the potential for severe thunderstorms, large hail, and damaging tornadoes.
Yep. Blackheart 502 and Mermaid Cakes are having a love affair since they were married. She said, "You're my favorite Thunder Buddy." Now he says, "You're my favorite Thunder Buddy as well." So I just thought that was kind of cute, you know.
Get a room, you two.
Yeah, that's right. Deanna Ramon, what are your thoughts on Clarksville, Tennessee tonight and tomorrow? I'll be honest with you, it's about the same as it is in Hopkinsville. I don't see much difference in either one of them.
Yeah. The added thing for tomorrow is you are under a chance for the potential for severe thunderstorms, possibly tornadoes, and also Clarksville area is under a flood watch for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. And so Mermaid Cake says she can't help herself. Oh, my goodness. Landon Buchanan, Logan County, Kentucky. What are their chances tonight? Yeah, they're going to be a little bit later. And Kyle Epley says, what's the chance of moderate risk goes east? They're in Franklin, Kentucky. So that's right next to Logan County. So
yeah, for now, they're pretty well established where they're going to have the moderate risk and everything else. But you have to remember that is for anything, for anywhere within 25 miles of a point in that area.
yeah,
So just because you're just outside the edge of it doesn't mean you're not going to be affected by the same thing.
that's right. We continue to get warnings across of warnings of these storms that are coming in. I'm hearing it in my ear as they continue to move eastward. They are making some progress. They were back here when I first started looking at this, so now they're over here. So they are moving eastward, and they are developing a little further to the southwest. This means that these could possibly swing up and over us before it's all said and done. I don't have any watches or warnings for the western Kentucky area other than the flood watch that's in effect, flash flood watch from Logan County east and northeastward. So that's kind of where that is. So, oh, good grief. And then let's see here. Blackheart 502 says if these storms get bad enough, we'll be in the basement together. Nikki Winter said, can we please go back to talking about snow, please? I take that any day over this. You know what? So would I, Nikki.
I would too.
There's nobody that's going to be any happier than if I'm wrong about this whole forecast. And Mark feels the same way. We don't want these. It's bad. It's going to change people's lives if you get hit by some of this. And yeah, our spotters, they're volunteers. They're risking their lives to go out here just to get the information back to you guys. So that is something that is extremely important. We try. That's what we're fixing to do here in just a few minutes. We're going to give them a briefing. We're going to get them fed. We're going to assign their points of where they're going to be. Amy will be here with who's going to assign their locations, and we're going to have them ready at the time. And I expect we probably won't go back on, Mark, till what, about 7, you think, or a little after?
At least it'd be 7, maybe 8. And again, it's going to depend on how fast those come in and what starts developing out in front of them.
Yeah. So if you're watching us now, we ask that you join us when we return. And the reason I'm postponing it a little bit is because of the criteria that YouTube has. We can transmit for 12 hours continuously, but if we go past the 12 hours, they won't repost it back so we can replay it. So we want to be able to replay this in case there's anything that happens so we can look back at the data and everything. So after 12 hours, we will go off for about a minute and then come back on for part 2. And that way everybody will stay up. As far as Facebook goes, the Facebook criteria is they'll only allow it to go for 8 hours before they cut us off. And so then we would have to go off then. So I don't know. We'll have to see how this plays out. We'll either discontinue for about a minute after 8 hours, and if there's severe stuff going on, we'll go even longer than that. But
okay,
that's what.
Real quick, answering some of the chat questions there. We will be on when it passes Clarksville. Yes, we're not going to abandon anybody.
Right.
Just when it passes Hopkinsville, we cover all the way over to Bowling Green.
Yes.
So we cover that far. And Angie Standiford, will there be a list of spotter locations? No.
Yeah, we don't
our
put
spotters
that out.
move around depending on where the storms are coming in, so we don't have a list of locations where our spotters are. No.
We used to identify where they were on the air, and people started following us. And then one day, they almost got a bunch of us hurt. Remember that, Mark? You were with me up Buffalo
Yes,
Road.
indeed.
We went up Buffalo Road, and we came up on this clearing, and there's the meanest looking green thunderstorm you ever saw in your life. And we turn and look back. There's about 20 cars behind us. And the fella pulls up and says, "Is there going to be a tornado?" You remember that?
Yeah.
And so we had to turn around and get out of there. And luckily we let them
Hopefully
go.
they all did too.
Yeah. I don't remember that tree came down behind us. I'm assuming they got through it, though.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we don't do that because we don't want people to follow us around and end up getting hurt unless you are a certified spotter with our group. Landon Buchanan, how many spotters will there be? Well, we have teams of 2 or 3 per vehicle, and we have several teams out, plus we have mobile spotters, so there's going to be a lot of them. I'm not sure I have the exact count yet. Angie Standardford says, "I definitely leave the spotting to you guys," and we're glad to do it for you, Angie.
Yeah.
So, Andrea Cook says, "What time is the severe storms going to be over?" I think that by the time we get to tomorrow around 1 to 2 o'clock, it'll pretty much be
In the
over.
afternoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, anyway. There'll be some showers and storms still around after that, but that should bring an end to the main severe threat.
Yeah. Blackheart 502, we have a small basement here. It's probably 5 to 6 feet wide, 5.5 feet deep, and 15-ish foot long. How safe do y'all think it is? Better than nothing, but just curious, you guys' opinion. Yeah, I think, be sure and get in a corner and under something sturdy, because if the ceiling isn't ready, we want to make sure that it's doesn't collapse in on top of you.
Yeah, and what I always say is you have to remember when you're in a basement like that, if the tornado takes your house, it's going to dump your neighbor's house in on top of you. So that's why you want to be under something sturdy as well as down in the basement.
Yeah, BDC says, "If I see a storm spotter's truck, I usually head in the opposite direction." You know what? Yeah, and law enforcement.
That's probably not a bad idea.
Law enforcement follows us not to stop us, but to keep up with us. That's the main thing, because if we're moving fast and they got the ambers and everything going, that's because there's a real reason for that. We don't do that normally. Chelsea Yancey, "Hey y'all, I'll be spotting in Clarksville. Stay safe." Hi Chelsea, good to see you.
Yeah.
And there's Nikki Winters. "How long is the wind going to last?" Long time.
Yeah.
Into tomorrow.
The outside of the storms, the straight line winds will be lasting at least through tomorrow morning at 4 a.m.
Yep. Connie Chancellor, as good thing there says charge your phones and check flashlights, everybody, and that's correct. Get your phones charged up before you go to bed, just in case we have power outages, and there could be some power outages. In fact, we're hoping we keep the internet up so we can stay on the air. If we lose internet, we will probably lose transmission capabilities to you guys, and we'll be off the air. Hopefully that won't happen. I know that they will keep us up and going as long as possible. Let's see here. Andrea Cook, reason I asked because we only got a hotel till 11 a.m. I think you'll be okay, Andrea. Amanda Martin says, "I'm terrified of all this. Thank you to all you do to keep us safe. Prayers for all." And I'll tell you the truth. Let me get Mark back up. He just disappeared on me. He does that to me occasionally. I don't know what's going on with his camera. We're going to have to probably do some work on it. But hold on here just a second. And then we'll bring him back up, hopefully. Oh, good grief. Okay, so let me see if I can figure out how to get him on. So maybe that'll get us on here in just a minute. All right. Okay. It looks like we're going to go ahead and call this. All of the groups are here. They're waiting on us to give their briefing. As I said, we will be back on. We haven't left you. Probably about between 7 and 8 o'clock, we'll come back on for the full storm coverage. We'll have a list of all the storm shelters that are going to be available. This is the current radar as you see it right now. There's nothing immediately threatening our area, so we've got some time. Make your preparations, get ready, and we will definitely come back and we will see you here in just a little while. And so instead of having to bring Mark back up, we're going to go ahead and shut this down for the time being. So hang loose, and we will see you here in just a little bit, and we will take up our storm coverage once we get back on. So around 7, 8 o'clock, be watching for us, and we will be back on at that time.